So this is a late game diorama. I don't know whether many of you have played this particular game, but it is good fun, I have to say. Now, late stage diorama potentially has lots of things which you've done to it. You've potentially blocked off this this gap here, and you have pumped, using the various pumps, you've pumped water into there to make sure that it's full. However, at this stage, by the looks of things, I've just come onto the game for a little while, I haven't yet set the pumps up. Having a look, we're in cycle 22, day 22, and it looks like I'm currently in a drought position. Now, if I look at the water that's still available to me, as you can see, I've got 1, 2, 3 big water tanks, which are all quite full. But as you can see, not all of them are very full enough. I mean, that one's completely empty, and these smaller ones are down to sort of smaller amounts as well. For the mechanical beavers, we have a fair amount, not actually in the virtually no catalyst at all, but we have an awful lot of the biofuel which is required. There's more water down here as well. And as you can see, during a drought, we have virtually all of our water pumps turned off, and you know, there's bits and pieces, because there's a lot of extra things which we can keep going, things like the carousel. Now, I don't generally use the mine very much, and one of the reasons for that is because it does take resources, and this is a very small map. So the main thing about this map is to keep all of the fields growing. Make sure that you're constantly working all the possible area you can do. Get as many of the beehives in as possible to grow and stimulate the growth of the various crops, which all helps, of course. As you can see, I've got quite a few beehives in place. You will find that something dies. I don't know what that is, but I can see we've got a nice, let's zoom in and have a quick look and see what's down there. Looks like there's a it's one of my mechanical beavers. I think it's a Timberborn which has come to the end. However, I believe we're constantly making new ones, so we just have to keep up. Now, in order to get as much use as possible, of course, you want to stack your storage towers up as much as possible. As you can see, that uses an awful lot of wood, and over time, you also want to make sure that you keep your power in place by using gravity batteries. And right at the top there, on top of stilts, you can see that really does help quite a lot. Although these ones here, those three, in fact all of them, are right down the bottom, so there's virtually no stored power at all left. All good. As you can see, we've got some maple trees making maple syrup, which is required for things like the bakery, where we're trying to make all sorts of different stuff. In this one we've got bread going, this one we've got bread going as well. So in fact, probably haven't got any of the pastries going at the moment, but that doesn't matter too much. We can sort that out at a later stage. Anyway, there we are. That's where we are. And as you can see, when you start playing around, your beavers start going, we can go 3 times speed here, and you can see how they zoom around like little fireflies. Now, the carousel, of course, this is one of those places where it keeps them all relatively happy. Yes, no, don't want to pause that. Let's keep that going. I just want to get that down to play. We'll get rid of that. Really, I suppose I stopped this game because there's nothing else to do. I'm getting through, I think I've got through one 27-day cycle and one 29-day cycle without any problem at all, because of the amount of water that I can now carry. As soon as we get to the end of this 22-day cycle, immediately we will be turning all of these pumps on. We'll get all the beavers in place to do so. We'll empty out all of the various smelters, lumber mills and grist mills and all the other things where the beavers are sitting, and we'll just fill everything up so that we can actually start doing stuff properly. As you can see, I've not got much wood, and that is one of my limiting factors at the moment, is the fact that we've only got this small patch of wood making fields, but we do have an awful lot of carrots and quite a lot of other ingredients for making food. So all in all, quite a nice little map. And once you're at this stage, then really it does get a little bit boring. You know, there's all sorts of things which we can do, but it's just boring at this stage. So it's much more interesting to start a new map and start doing something else. That's where the water normally comes in, flows down the waterfall. I've obviously built up the walls around here to make sure that we can create the space here to put more equipment and store an awful lot of water under here. If you look under here, you'll see that there is water underneath all of these different places. It's very difficult to get inside there, but these are all platforms. Underneath we've got very deep water. Anyway, there you go.